Well, thank you, Anthony, for coming along. I mean, I'm aware that you've been here in the formation program here in Nigeria for 8 years now,
Yes.
coming into this year of theology. I've only been here a few months, just been assigned here from England to come and work in formation. So it's good that this will be the first of about a year-long, 6 conversations maybe throughout the year. So really what I'm interested in is finding out how you're doing and how I can help you as you continue in this stage of your formation.
You're most welcome, Father. It's good to have you in our midst, and most probably being a foreigner, I guess you're going to bring a new thing on the table in terms of formation. So you're most welcome to our country and our culture.
Thank you.
And our formation house. Well, I'm fine, and I applied for the virtual profession 6 months ago, and I've been informed that my application has been granted.
Oh, good.
I'm happy about it in one way, but to be frank, something has set me thinking.
Okay.
Only last week I encountered someone in the Catholic bookshop at the cathedral, and that encounter didn't go down well.
Okay, what happened?
It was someone who used to be my classmate in high school. We were in high school together. Actually, initially, I didn't think of the religious life. We were planning to become engineers, and then he went on with that. And I thought of the religious life much later, and I came here. And I saw him in the company of his wife and a 7-month-old baby, his firstborn. And he works for an oil company in Port Harcourt, in the oil-rich region of Nigeria. And as we got conversing, and he told me of a lot of other classmates of ours who are doing really good. And as I walked home, I was asking myself if I was in the right place. I mean, these were guys who used to depend on me in class, and they have become something, but it appears here am I becoming nothing. And I've been asking myself if I'm going to ask the authorities to give me a year to think, to reconsider my vocation or my application. I'm not saying I'm done and dusted with life, but probably I need some time to think. Probably it's good you are here too, so I can open up to you and we share and we see a way forward. The two of us thinking through it together.
Is this the first time you've found these kind of thoughts coming to you throughout the formation?
Not really, but the intensity at which it has come at this time, I've not experienced it before. This intensity is so intense, and I mean, it set me thinking, and I think I have to reevaluate my life. And I feel I'm disappearing from existence because people are becoming something. They are holding on to something. They could point at something which they have achieved. But I think I'm going to live a life that I cannot point at something and say, this is what I've done with my life. I know I can spiritualize the problem and say, oh, I'm bringing people to Jesus, and concretely, I can't point at something and say, my finger is on this is what I've done, this is what I've got with my life. So, I mean...
Can I just check, is the issue that you're struggling with here about seeing your companions being successful professionally,
yes,
or being successful and having a family? Because there's kind of 2 different things that you've mentioned.
Yeah, both. Both, yes, both, because professionally, yes, that was my first dream, and I have seen it being realized in someone else with whom I had the same dream. And then secondly, of course, being professionally successful also leads to being a successful family man. So the two have been going go hand in hand, and I think I feel somehow I'm losing out on both sides. Yes.
So you said that you've had feelings like this previously during formation, but not as intense as they are now.
Yeah. You know, in those days, I knew we were all in school, and then none of them had got a job. We were all in university. We were just, all of us were in some kind of formation or the other. No one had got a job. We were still very young. But now they are graduated. I mean, they graduated and they've got jobs doing. Yes, I have finished philosophy. I mean, about the same time with them. They've got a degree, I've completed theology, and then, you know, I'm not seeing a visible or tangible end to what I'm doing, but they have got something at hand. So the intensity, it's going to be very clear to me now that I'm going somewhere that is very, very strange.
You say you don't see any end in sight, but at the same time you've just been accepted for final vows.
Yes.
So how does that relate to this sense of succeeding and not succeeding?
Yeah, being accepted for final vows is a plus, and I have to thank God for it. Yeah, because it's positive. But then I'm beginning to look at life beyond the vows, beyond that occasion. Normally here in my country, it's a big ceremony, people gather around you. You know, it's just like a kind of a wedding ceremony, and people say, oh, you've achieved something. But now it's becoming clear to me that beyond that, I'm going to be alone. All those people who crowd around me to say, well done, our son, you've done us proud, they're going to disappear, and I'm going to walk this road all by myself. And I tell you, Father, it's not easy with me now. I see a long, drawn-out life of loneliness and just to not to be nothingness, so to speak. Yes.
So, up until now, as you've been discerning your vocation, what is it that's been attracting you to this life? What is it that's kept you going and kept you studying?
I tell you the truth. Like our Father Founder said in 1 Corinthians 5:17, 2 Corinthians 5:17, Caritas Christi ut et nos, the love of Christ impels us. So the only thing left for me now, apart from anything, I feel I've lost every other thing but Christ. Yes, and He's the only thing that makes meaning to my life now, because every other thing is going, or is gone, probably gone, and Christ is the only one remaining. I think my life is going to have a meaning only if I keep holding on to Him. Apart from Him, it's going to be a totally meaningless life.
And at this point, as you look to the future, is that enough for you?
A very difficult question to answer. For now, today, yes, it's a ray of hope. And if I count on the faithfulness of God for the future, I think it's going to be enough. But the challenges are going to be enormous because I'm a human being. I'm living a human life in a human world. I'm not going to be always spiritual, living in the spiritual with the spiritual Jesus. Sometimes I turn around, I see myself sitting alone, studying alone, walking alone. Yes, I live in community, but I'm also alone.
You've mentioned that word alone a lot of times.
Yes.
And I just wonder, when you've had these experiences before, have you talked them through with other people, or have you just managed them by yourself?
Yeah, as friends, I've talked about it with my classmates, my conference, and we just walk along the road sharing our experiences and our lives and our dreams. But we've not taken it very seriously, at least to this length. I've not really taken the time to. It's not happened in this way before, so I've not taken it very seriously. But now I think I don't know if I have all the ideas correct. The reason why I think I need an external help at this point, because if I keep introspecting and taking decisions myself, I may end up doing the wrong thing. So I think at this point in time, I've got to talk to someone else who is probably more experienced than myself. And then I imagine life is in cycles, and I know that probably someone else who is in this life has undergone this experience before. And I need to be told the truth. I need to be shown the way out of the woods, because I'm not comfortable now, to be frank. But I'm not hopeless anyway.
Could you tell me a bit more about this discomfort that you're feeling?
Yeah, it's for one full week now, I cannot concentrate on my studies. I've not been able to read through. I have exams in the next couple of weeks, but everything I read, I just get my books and I can't concentrate. You know, I say, oh, what are you studying for? Where are you going? What are you doing? You know, and I keep the book. But I've got to pass these exams at least. I go back to the book and then I can't concentrate, you know. I go out again and keep thinking, because somehow I knew what initially my childhood dream was, and here are people who were not the best in class when it comes to academics, who depended on me. And I tell myself, if these guys are here, then I could probably help them somewhere better, or higher than themselves. But here am I getting lost, excuse me to say that. So the reality of self-donation, total self-donation, I don't know if the word immolation would be correct here. Self-immolation is becoming a reality to me now, as I see the vows approaching. And every year, yes, since I got temporary professed, I've been renewing my vows every year, and but now I'm going to do it for life, and for me as a person, I take everything I do very seriously. It's either I'm in or I'm out. So I'm looking at the life. Can I live this life walking alone, fundamentally with Jesus? Am I going to be able to link? I know He's going to be there for me, but being human, do I have the capacity to constantly link up with Him for sustenance in this life? And how am I going to manage through? How am I going to survive?
It sounds as if it sounds as if you've got very high expectations of yourself and what you're going to achieve in life, and that it's all or nothing for you. And I just wonder, having been here now for 8 years, coming towards the end of here, in what ways this experience is different than it has been previously. For example, when you applied for first vows, or you have these different steps where you have to confront what you're letting go of and what you're taking on. Well, what feels different about it? You talk about intensity. But what is it that's different about this?
I think fundamentally it's about coming of age. I was a lot younger. I made my profession some 8 years ago. I was a lot younger, and I saw life a lot different from how I see it now. Life was at that time just about getting to study something, just getting to study what is before you and getting done with it.
So you stepped on the train and the train just kept going?
Yes, I kept going, just get this done and get this done. I got my goals, I passed my exam very well, and I thought that was sufficient. But after all the exams, after all the approvals and after everything, now I'm asked to cross the Rubicon, and it's a bit difficult, to be frank.
And the difficulty is?
It's to take a leap into the dark. Yes, because I'm looking back throughout my formation. It's been wonderful. I must be grateful to my formators and to God for helping me and seeing me through. Like I said, I've had some little challenges, but not to this level. And now I see myself before the river, for the Rubicon. I'm going to cross it, and I'm going to be able to recuperate my life again somehow. So that makes a difference. I think I've arrived or attained at an age where I see that I should have become something, but now I'm becoming nothing.
And that self-emptying, is that, well, it's an uncomfortable experience.
I'm afraid of it, to be frank.
But is that the culmination of what you've been working towards these years, or?
I never saw this coming, to be frank. I never thought I would have this experience at this intensity. I never saw it coming. I never dreamt I would arrive at a stage whereby these doubts and fears will become so intense.
So are these doubts and fears worrying you?
Of course, yes, they are worrying me because I can't seem to do anything else. I can't seem to be able to concentrate on anything else. If they allowed me to do other things, I would consider them as maybe things that would naturally go away. But now I'm taking it very seriously because it clouds my vision. I can't seem to concentrate.
So in some ways, do these feelings and thoughts frighten you?
Oh, very much frightening me. And I really need help.
And that fear is paralysing you. You're not able to do the things that you feel you should be doing.
Yes. At least with the intensity or the propensity with which I used to do them.
I mean, just one observation I'd share with you, for something to consider, is my own reaction as you share this experience is that it's not unusual.
Oh, really?
Because, in a sense, you're being faced now with making a final decision.
Yes.
And in a sense, I think what happened last week, possibly when you met your friend from years ago,
yes.
In a sense, you will be confronted with everything that you had to give up for this path that you've taken, the dreams that you used to have.
Yeah.
In a sense, you see that those dreams aren't the path that you chose. Family, particular profession. So in a sense, it's really brought home to you the consequences and implications of continuing down the path that you're on.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like throughout formation, you've never really let go of those dreams and hopes. So there's probably part of you that's sad and grieving for that part of you that you made a choice to let go. So given the decision that you've got in front of you at the moment, it doesn't surprise me that these doubts, these thoughts have come. So I think that's quite a normal human reaction when we're about to make an important decision. I don't know how that strikes you, or...
Okay, Father, please, would you mind being a little bit personal with me?
Mm-hmm.
If I would ask, how did it go with you when you arrived at the stage in which I'm presently experiencing?
I think for my own story would have been slightly different in a different culture, but I suppose I was aware in my own life, even when I went for final vows or temporary vows even, that before actually making the commitment, even once I knew I was accepted, there would be questions that would emerge. There was a sense of, putting the application in might have been like being on the train, it was a thing to be done. But before actually making the vows, there was a sense of having to confront the reality of that and the consequences, the things that would be given up, the things that were being let go of because of the choice that was being made. And I think some of what you've been saying for me resonates with those experiences that I had and what I've heard other people talk about. So it's not to say that they need to be discounted and ignored, but in a sense maybe they're not to be frightened of, but seen as a gift to be explored and to see if this helps clarify what God is calling you to.
Okay. Anyway, do you think I can make it through? I'm not asking you as God.
Sure.
But would you actually encourage me to continue in the step I have taken?
What I would say is I think, in a sense, this moment is a gift to you to explore what it is you really believe God is calling you to. And it's important that you can make the choice that's comfortable, because if the danger is if I say, oh yes, go ahead because this is normal, and that's not what God is calling you to, that will not be healthy for you in the long run. So the intensity, I think, is important. This type of reaction and experience isn't unusual, but it's important that you use this moment to see if accepting this reality, accepting that you are having to give up these things, if that is something you can be at peace with. Because it sounds to me a little bit as if what you're caught up in is the fear that you've had these experiences. What I want to say to you is that's okay to feel frightened. It's normal to have these things, don't be frightened of them. But recognise that these intense experiences are appropriate for this moment when you're about to make an important decision. It's to see whether or not they are things that you can say goodbye to and be at peace with afterwards and continue down this path that you've been on for 8 years, where you have felt happy and content. It was the right way.
I have a challenge now. Up until the time I met you, just before we started this meeting, I've not been able to concentrate. I mean, I want a way I can just put others behind me and finish my exams and study for them. Because I need to pass my exams. And so I just want the cloud to dissipate so I can get down to work and continue.
Well, hopefully by having shared this, you're not carrying it by yourself in the way you have been the last week. And maybe that will that give you the freedom to be able to focus on some of the other things and to keep this in perspective, because it sounds like that reaction and the fear that you felt because of your reaction on seeing your friends has kind of become all-consuming of your time and energy, and you've been carrying that by yourself. Well, maybe what we could suggest is give it a few days and see how things are going. But if you find that you're not able to pick up the things that you need to pick up, you could come back and talk with me some more about this.
It's okay, fine.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
I think I can get some relief now. I'm feeling a little relieved actually by speaking with you.
Okay.